And okay, so I realized over the weekend, or no, actually, I realized just after we finished on Friday that I had received an email request with a question and with a share of an experience that the person said I was welcome to share with everyone in case it helps inspire others. Without using the name. So I'm just going to read out their story and then I will answer their question. So this is my story. Last Wednesday, I discovered on my chest a small lump. I am a cancer survivor from breast cancer. I started worrying a lot, and by Friday, I was desperate. I did your exercise many times until I fell asleep. I did not practice the unconditional love to the lump, but I turned into a superhero with a laser. I used my laser to heal my entire bone structure. The following day, I felt more relaxed, less anxiety, and more at peace. Every night I go to sleep listening to your recording. So, and then they say, want to thank you so much for this exercise. So, the question she has is, can you work on Friday on the feeling of not having enough air to breathe? I get like that when I am scared or when under stress. Right now, my husband is positive with the corona. I have been practicing the exercise with him and my son and his girlfriend. I put the three of them together and I will work. Oh yes, and so that's basically it. So I'd like to answer that question now about not having enough air to breathe. So first of all, of course, there's a very good reason it happens, particularly when you are feeling stressed or frightened, because that's one of the effects of stress chemicals in your system, is that your breathing becomes shallower, more shallow. And that's so because all the blood is going to your extremities to run away or fight. So the one thing you can do definitely to start with is take a deep breath as much as you can, even if you can't, if you can't get as much as you'd like, take a deep, slow breath, hold it in for a count of whatever you can manage, 4 or 5 or 10, whatever you can manage, and then let it out slowly. And do that a couple of times, and then start imagining your color. So what you want to do is just slow your system down, because the more you think about, and remembering that wherever you put your focus is what's determining your emotional state and the chemicals that are in your system. So the more you think about not having enough air to breathe, of course, the shallower your breathing is becoming because you're pumping stress chemicals into your system. So it's the top priority to change your focus to your color. Imagine being surrounded by your color, hugging your subject, and that will start to bring those stress chemicals down, which will improve your breathing. You'll be able to have that. That's on that level. And then, of course, there's the other piece that may or may not be there, which is the reference for not having enough air to breathe. So the other part of it would be, once you are feeling calm and in that good state, in that superpower state, you could then ask yourself the questions: how do I know what it's like to not have enough air to breathe? Why, how do I know this is a scary idea? How does it feel? And then where in my childhood did I feel that same feeling? It may not be to do with breath. It may be something else. So I'll give you an example. If it feels like helpless, it may be that the same kind of helpless feeling as you had in your childhood, being bullied or feeling accused of something you didn't do, or that kind of thing. So you're looking for the same feeling, may or may not be a different topic. And then, of course, you want to change that to the opposite, positive, empowering. So I hope that answers your question. If not, of course, let me know, to clarify, and I'll give you some more details. All right, so before we check in with everyone, let's get into the superpower state. So everybody take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you like. You don't have to close your eyes. And then get into your superpower state in whatever way you are able to. So you can use your phrase or word, or you can use the exercise of your color, holding someone or something in your arms and a hug. However you get into that state, and remember to look for that feeling in your chest, that opening, expanding feeling, that opening, expanding physical feeling. Very good. And fill yourself with that light, that love, that energy, that appreciation. Fill all the cells of your body and the little you and your subject, even if they don't want to be with you. And allow that light or energy to overflow from you. Fill the whole room you're in. Very good. Good job. And you can open your eyes. So let us know how you're doing, how the weekend was for you. If you've been able to continue practicing, and if you've had any challenges, if you've had any issues that you'd like an answer to, or just if you've experienced some resistance, some challenges, anything like that. All right, Cheryl, let's unmute you. Hey, Cheryl.
Hi, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You look radiant as usual.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for the advice from Friday about when you have something or someone that triggers you.
Yes.
I have made amazing, I mean, seriously, amazing progress since then.
Good.
I'm shocked. I just did an about face. It was like something clicked for me when you said, you know, when you, first of all, Steve, you said, you know, about how it's like, I forget exactly how you said it, but you made me make the connection that what my feelings towards the subject were really coming from within myself and something with the child within me. And, you know, that I was simply being triggered. Like I don't know, it just, that really made sense to me. So I have just really felt so differently this whole weekend, just calmer. It was kind of like a big load off my back, like, oh, it's not him. And I don't have, you know, I don't have to defeat him or, you know, or be afraid of him or, especially the fear. Like, I just feel a lot better that it's just something that I have to heal within myself. So, and even my son noticed that I wasn't getting triggered. People who are still triggered by him kept coming to me to say things like, my sister-in-law came to the house outside the front door. They didn't come in or anything, and they were talking about that. And my son was like waiting for me to jump on board, and I was just like, yeah. So thank you for getting that load off my mind.
Fantastic, Cheryl. I'm so proud of you and so excited for you. That is wonderful. And you know, the wonderful thing about that is that as we develop that ability to not be, you know, to heal the reference inside us and gain more control so that we're not at the mercy of anything outside of us. And so you worked on that particular one. It affects so much else in your life. It has a massive knock-on effect. So that is fantastic.
Yes. So thank you.
You're very, very welcome. It really is our pleasure. Yay.
I think that getting the reframe that things that are triggering us, whether they're people or situations, if we start to see that all as a mirror. So the person that's triggering us, the event that's triggering us, it's an opportunity for us to be able to see what's there inside. And that's where the power is at. As long as we think that there's something or someone outside of us that is actually has the ability to trigger us, then that's where we we're still in that place of victimhood. We're still in that place of handing over our power to something else.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yay. And thank you so much for sharing it. We always so appreciate when people share their feedback. So thank you, Cheryl, and their experience. And we have in the chat, someone says, felt great. Good. That's good to know. And someone else says, I turned a person into, into Bert from Sesame Street because this person was being difficult. I laugh and laugh. This exercise is superb to change anything to positive. Well done. Good job. I'm so thrilled. And it is, you can have a lot of fun with it. So that's fantastic. I know I used Squid Face. What's his name? from SpongeBob. Yeah, whatever the grumpy one. I used that as well. So well done, everyone. I'm so thrilled that Squidward, thank you. Squidward, that's it. He's a good one to use. And I think of myself as SpongeBob, I have to say. Slightly yellow. Someone says, hi, everyone. I also react better to aggressivity, but I find it hard to accept that my daughter's dad doesn't help me with our daughter. And it triggers me because I'm exhausted of doing everything. How can I change this? Okay, so very good. And thank you for asking that. So it's a tricky one. So when you're looking at the actual situation and the, you know, you're stuck doing something and that somebody else should be helping you with, that is a very difficult challenge. And especially because you can't make them do it. So the best you can do is practice the state, you know, get into the superpower state first, aim it at your daughter's dad, fill him with it the same, you know, whether he helps or not. So that's important. Of course, that's the power is that unconditional bit. So fill him with that love, that appreciation, that light and energy, and we'll all aim it at him today as well. We use it as a target, so that he's filled with it, whether he does it or not. And then, you know, another time you could try, just on a practical level, make a list of the things that you like. If you could wave a magic wand, what are the activities that you would like him to do? Make a list of those, put them away. Don't give it to him yet. Put it away somewhere. Send love. Do the superpower again. Fill him whether he does it or not. And then perhaps a few days later, if he hasn't started doing any of those, you could perhaps ask him, give him the list, but in a very calm way, and saying, would you mind doing this, that, and the other? Because very often what happens is the programs are playing together. So your programs and his programs are batting the ball back and forth. And if you break out of that pattern and just in a very straightforward, but you know, and polite way, the way you would to somebody you didn't know, and say, would you mind doing this, that, and the other? I could really use the help in an unemotional way. Is the word is the point I'm making. You may do that, but you may see a difference. But it's very, very important to pre-pave it first. So superpower first, fill him with the superpower first, make sure it's unconditional. In other words, whether he does it or he doesn't do it, if he never does it, if he gets worse, love all of that anyway, bearing in mind that shining light into darkness. So you're doing that work on that level, and then make a list of exactly what you'd like him to do. So like him to make breakfast, or, you know, whatever the details are, just like a list, and then put it away. Do the superpower again, fill him with the superpower, whether he does it or not, and so on. And then if you haven't seen a change, you know, ask him specifically in a very straightforward, polite way, you know, look, I could really use your help. So I hope that helps. If not, of course, let me know in the chat again, and I can give you some more details. Thank you very much. You're very, very welcome. So we'll aim at him and that whole situation for you as well as a group. And so for everybody else as well, if you've got any issues that you'd like to add to the list of targets for today, and also to anyone watching the video who can't be with us live, you're very welcome to email your targets to us. If you'd like us all to aim at your targets, just email us, let us know, and it can be anonymous, or you can use your name, whichever you prefer. And we can get this, we can really build up the momentum of this power, because as we are aiming at other people's targets, of course, it's making us stronger and more powerful and healing us as well. All right, so any other targets, pop them in the chat or unmute yourself or raise your hand, whichever you prefer. And in the meantime, let's aim at that one. All right, so everybody take a deep breath and go into your superpower state. So repeating your word or phrase, or going through the exercise, whichever works for you. Good job. And now let's fill yourself first. Make sure that you're filled with that wonderful power, that love, that light, that appreciation. Fill yourself with your power, all the cells of your body. Fill your subject with that power and imagine them not wanting to be with you, and maintain that state. Make sure your heart, you've got that feeling in your heart of expansion. Good job. Love it all anyway. And now let's aim at the person who put in the chat her daughter's dad. I want you to fill her with it first. Let's fill her with that love, that light, that energy. Imagine her being filled from her toes all the way to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. So she's now full of that light, that energy. Love her just for existing. Very good. And now imagine that love, that light, that energy overflowing from her and filling her daughter's dad from his toes all the way to the top of his head, out to his fingertips. So he's filled with that light, that energy, that love and appreciation as well. No matter what, whether he helps or he doesn't help, love him just for existing, exactly as he is. See that light shining out from him. Very good. And you can open your eyes. And how's everyone feeling? Was that good? Was everyone able to do it? So let us know, of course, if you have any trouble tuning in or picking up that momentum. Yes, thanks. Very good. Good job. All right, so I haven't seen any other targets come up, so let's do so that person says thank you everyone, so you're very welcome, love. And so now let's do as a group, and then we'll go around to each person, and then we will do first responders and those watching the recording. All right, and we'll do that all in one go. So a deep breath and go into your superpower state. Feel that light or energy starting in your heart, that feeling of your heart expanding in your chest, that light shining out from it and filling your whole body down to your toes, up to the top of your head and out to your fingertips. That power, that light, that energy, that love and appreciation, pure, unconditional love. Love yourself just for existing, and now start aiming it at the group. So everyone here today in this group, fill each person with that love, that appreciation, that light, that energy. And now let's aim it at Katrina. So aim that light, that energy at Katrina. See it filling her from her toes all the way to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. Love Katrina just for existing. That bright white love and appreciation just for existing. Very good. And now let's go on to Boguslava. So fill Boguslava with that beautiful white light or energy from her toes all the way to the top of her head, out to her fingertips. Love Boguslava just for existing, exactly as she is. Very good. And now let's go on to Cheryl. So fill Cheryl with that light, that energy, that love and appreciation just for existing. Love Cheryl just for existing. Very good. And now let's go on to Lisa. Fill Lisa with that lovely light or energy from her toes all the way to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. So she's filled with that light, that energy, that love and appreciation just for existing. Love Lisa just for existing. And now all of those who are on this call but not on camera, fill all of those who are just listening in without their cameras on, just for existing. Love them, love each one just for existing. Fill them all with that light, that energy, that love and appreciation. Very, very good. And now let's send that same love, that light, to all of those on the front lines during this time in the world. All those first responders and everyone else who has to work during this time. Fill each of them with that love, that light, that love and appreciation just for existing. Very, very good. And now to everyone who's watching this recording, fill each of those people who are watching this recording with love and light and energy from their toes to the top of their heads, out to their fingertips. Love each one just for existing. Very, very good. And you can open your eyes. And how's everyone doing? How was that for everybody? Were you able to do it? Good, very good. Good job. And so any questions? Someone says very beautiful. Good. Thank you for sharing that.
Can I say something?
Of course, please do.
Yes, I find that actually very difficult. What do you call it? Going back to yesterday, you know, there was a thing running of annoyance.
Right.
Yeah, and so I dug a little bit deeper, and this word resentment came up because hearing mum saying friends came, you know, little girls, and they wanted me to go out and play.
Right.
But she didn't know that I could hear her. And she said, no, Katrina's not here, or she made up something. And in the background, I really, really resented my mother for doing that and controlling me. And my partner just was trying to pull me off the video here, saying, you know, come on. And I just was...
Oh.
So I had that much of that going on that I couldn't get into this.
Of course. And I completely get that. That's completely understandable. So, so the first thing I would say is, I would say you could do with writing a letter to your mum. That, you know, that due justice letter we were talking about, that you don't send it, nobody ever sees it. But
Okay.
let that little Katrina express that resentment. Because, and the reason it works is because that your subconscious and that little child in you, that little Katrina, doesn't know that you haven't actually said it. So it can't tell the difference between reality and imagination. So when you write that, that part of you believes that she's received it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And so it helps to give closure, and it helps to free you from that resentment, to be able to then move forward and heal more quickly and stronger.
Yeah, it was like, sorry, I wanted to go and play,
Yeah,
and so she said no, and there was that, him coming, and it's, I don't know, the two are definitely connected. I hate
absolutely.
being controlled.
Yes. So what's happening in real time is when he comes in and tries to pull you away from what you're doing, your subconscious is referring to the experience when you were a child.
And then I want to,
Same feeling, and then it's prompting your brain and body to produce the same chemicals that produce that same feeling. And then, but you're, of course, consciously, you're not aware of that, but that's the experience you are then having in this moment. So now when you go back and change that, so I would say the letter first to unblock it. So just for a reminder for everybody as well, and anyone watching the video, the due justice is you write a letter that you never send, but you get everything out. So you don't reason. There's no reason, there's no logic, there's no excuses. It's what the, you just let it all out, swear, all caps, lots of exclamation marks, be unreasonable. Just, it's like cleaning out an infected wound. You want to get all of that out. And then you can either tear it up and throw it away, or burn it, or whatever you want to do. You can read it through again if you want to, or you don't have to, and then go to sleep, so that your brain can process what's just happened and create that closure. And then after you've done that, then do the little exercise of changing that memory, so that your mum, when, in the first instance, when those kids came round and said, can Katrina come out and play? She went, of course, yes. So it was, and she gave you something to go and play, or she played with you, whatever. And that's what you're aiming at. And then as well, see you asking her if you can go and play, and her going, of course, sweetheart, yes, have fun. I'll call you when it's time to eat, or whatever. And then another one where she suggests you go out and play. Hey, I was thinking if you wanted to go, here's some money to go and play with your friends, with whatever. So make it whatever that little you would have been the ideal for her. That's what you're aiming at, the end result. Does that make sense?
Yes, brilliant. Thank you.
Then you're very welcome. And then practice those new memories so that they become established, so that neural network becomes established, and you'll start to notice a difference then with your partner.
Oh, brilliant.
All right. Because what you're aiming at, of course, with your partner, but you need to change those references to get this, is that when he comes to call you away or whatever, you don't feel any emotional trigger. You just go, it's, not right now. I'll be there late, or whatever you want to say, but it's just logical and strategic, and there's no emotion to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Good job, Katrina. And thank you for sharing that, because I know that will help as well. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. And let's see, somebody else has put here, I found that a good round, but did have resistance to sending love to one person who has caused me great pain. I do need to write the DJ letter to this person, and we'll do that today. Yes, fantastic, good job. That will help to unstick. So for everybody else as well, doing that due justice letter is deceptively powerful. For those who haven't done it yet, I know that there's Steve and I both had a lot of resistance to it, but eventually when we did get round to doing it, you know, it is remarkable. And for those who have done it already, you'll find that doing it, you know, doing it once isn't always enough. So, you know, when something comes up that you feel stuck, you can't change something, you can't move forward, or where you're bothered by, you're triggered, but you don't know why. You know, I had that, I don't know if it was last year or, you know, not that long ago, where I felt triggered, but I didn't know what I was feeling annoyed by. I didn't know, I mean, I knew what I was feeling annoyed by now, but I didn't know what the references were because I seem to have changed most of my childhood, or all my childhood. Then you just write to whom it may concern, and you just write to whoever, whatever, just start. And then that opens the door. And I picked up things that I hadn't seen before from my childhood that was still there, that I thought, you know, I didn't know they were there. So someone else says, it was very good, thank you. I do need to write another due justice letter. Yes, okay, very good. So that's good that yeah, always go back to the due justice when to get unstuck. Someone else says, I don't even want to think about this person, so I do also have huge resistance to writing this letter. Yes, and that's understandable. So the answer to that is put writing the letter aside for the moment. Go, I'll write it, but not right now, and make sure that you get into the superpower state first. And then while you're in the superpower state, just dip your toe in the idea of writing the letter, and then come back to the superpower state and keep doing that like the hot water until when you think about writing the letter, it feels okay. You know, you don't have major resistance. You may still have some resistance because it will create change. And so your subconscious is keeping you safe by putting that resistance there so that you don't take that step, but where it's not as strong. And then a trick that I use is have something that you like. So, you know, and then not everyone, you know, drinks or whatever. So I would get some wine, or Steve would get some whiskey, or you can get some coffee or tea, or, you know, something nice to have with it, or a glass of iced water, whatever feels nice, or put some music on that you like, and have something to look forward to afterwards. So say, you know, after I finish this, I am then going to watch my favorite TV program, or I'm going to play a game that I love, or I'm going to read a book that I love, or I'm going to do an activity that I love. So have something to look forward to afterwards. And that goes for anything that you have to get done. But with that, writing the letter, that helps. So I hope that makes a difference. Yeah, to help you to get over that resistance.
I just wanted to relate that I understand that resistance to writing, and if it helps, go back and replay this this recording and just listen to Odile encouraging you to do that, because that's literally what she had to do with me for a couple of months. Don't you think it would be a good idea to write that letter? It's like, yeah, I think it would be a good idea. But I just kept putting it off.
Yeah.
And it is fascinating what is going on in your subconscious, because I think for me that there was really that little, I don't know, 5-year-old who was sitting there with his arms crossed, and it's like, I just want to be mad. I just want to carry this around. It's like, no, you can't make me feel better. You know, so it's really just fascinating how it's like, and then once you do it, once you actually sit down, it's like, wow, that was amazing how, you know, you really just hold on to that stuff. And the process of doing that, it does, for me, the experience was just feeling like you can just set the baggage down. You didn't need to be dragging that around anymore. So anyway.
Thank you, Steve, for sharing that. Yeah. So that is, and I think the other thing that helps is to keep reminding yourself that, and I know that this is what I had to do for myself, not just with this, but with changing memories as well, and that kind of thing, is reminding yourself that there's no physical effort involved. It's not like you have to go out jogging or, you know, digging up a road or anything. There's no effort involved, but the illusion is that this is a big thing, this is a big effort to do, but it's actually just sitting down with a pen and paper. It's not really that, you know, but so it's reminding yourself, well, it doesn't need to take long either. So, you know, we say set aside 2 hours because it can take a long time, but if that's what's stopping you from doing it, then, you know, just set aside half an hour or 20 minutes or whatever, because once you get started, then you get, you know, then you get the momentum going. But yes, so going back to that person, I know that the resistance was about not wanting to think about that person. And I know that feeling well. And I think we probably all have that to a certain extent, or have had that experience where whatever it is about that person is so intense that you don't want to think about them because it brings up those emotions. So that's why doing the superpower back and forth a little bit to bring those stress emotions down, hopefully will help. All right. And the other thing you can do is give the little you a hug. So as you think about, you know, that person, give that little you a hug and tell her it's going to be okay. So someone here says, with regard to the DJ letter, maybe there can be a startup phrase such as, I feel something at you because. Yes, that's a very good idea. Thank you for sharing that. So, you know, being able to get started. So I feel angry at you because whatever the reason is, that's a good starter. Thank you for sharing that. And and if you can't think of that, you can also just go, dear so-and-so, I had spaghetti for dinner. Today is sunny. And as you do that, it'll start to flow. It'll start to flow. All right. Good job, everyone. Bogislava?
I just want to say something like with my experience. Last time I did something, like a few months ago, I did something I shouldn't, but I did anyway. Mm-hmm. And I was like beating myself for many, many weeks. And yesterday I had enough, 2 days ago, and I wrote a letter to me.
Ah, yes.
And I throw everything, whatever I was thinking about that. Until today, I feel fine and I don't beat myself anymore.
Fantastic.
So,
well
yeah,
done.
you can, yeah, it's awesome experience. You can write a letter to even yourself, whatever, anybody.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Bogislava. That is a wonderful example. Yes, you can write to yourself. You can also write it to the universe.
And yeah, but I wrote to myself because I was like constantly, I was fighting with myself and beating me all the time, my head, like constantly, oh, why you did that? Why? You knew that, you knew it. And I was just sick and tired. I just wrote the letter. And it feels awesome, feels so light. And when I'm thinking about it, it's like, why I was doing this to myself?
That is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that, Bogislava. I know that will help a lot of others as well, because I think we all tend to beat ourselves. Well, we're taught to do that as well by the way we're raised. So that is really good. And another thing that I've just thought of actually as you were talking is you can write it to money as well, you know. So if you're feeling frustrated, or to things that aren't, you know, to your health, or you can, if you feel stuck in any area, you can write these letters to that particular area there, because it uncovers things that you may not be consciously aware of. So great job. How fantastic and exciting. And so any other questions or targets? So someone said here, I used the superpower love state in the mirror. Nice. And seen my little me saying anything is possible, and then put on my favorite music and danced. The letter writing is very powerful for everything. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. And doing that in the mirror, that's a really good idea. A very good idea. So some people may not be able to do that at first. And just, if you can't, then that's okay. I know I wouldn't have been able to back then because I couldn't look at myself in the mirror at all. Never mind send love to myself in the mirror. But again, the more you do it, without the mirror even, the more you're building that skill and that ability. And then try it out and see. So when you're able to do it to yourself in the mirror, then you know you've leveled up. So, and seeing this as a game, is very powerful as well. So each time you're able to do a little bit more, these are the challenges of the game, and you level up until you get, playing at a higher level. And living from a state of unconditional love most of the time is the kind of master level of the game. So it helps, especially for those people who like gaming, to think of it that way. All right, and so let's do the exercise one more time then. So but in between, of course, feel free to post your questions or ask for specific targets. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and get into your superpower state. Fill your body with that love, appreciation, that light or energy. Love each cell just for existing. And feel that energy, that light overflowing from you, filling the whole room you're in. Feel your power. Feel your heart expanding. That light or energy, that love and appreciation shining out from your heart, and feel that physical feeling in your chest as you do that. Feel the expansiveness. Very good. And now I want you to think of yourself later today and send this love, appreciation, light or energy to that version of you. Love that version of you just for existing, and no matter what. Good job. Very, very good. And you can open your eyes. And how was that for everyone? Good. Excellent. Very good. And so now, of course, as usual, the task, the assignment is to practice this until tomorrow, until the same time tomorrow, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. All right.
Odile, do we want to mention, I know that we put posts up, but mentioning the next all-day workshop that's coming up.
So for those who didn't receive that, we're doing another full-day workshop because that went so well. And so that is on Saturday, April 25th. So the link is on the page. I put it on the resources page. I haven't put it there yet. It's on our website, but I'll put it on the resources page as well for those who are interested. And that is that's specifically changing childhood memories, subconscious references. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. That is lovely to see. And I hope you all have a wonderful day as well. And someone says, I love the master level. Reaching that state is very good. Yes, it is. Thank you. And it just gets better and better. The more time you spend in it, the better it gets. Wonderful. So much love to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We love these. We really look forward to these sessions in the morning. So lots of love to all of you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye. Tip that wine today, Odile. I will. Bye-bye, love. Bye.